It's episode 9.
Episode nueva.
So that was one of the that might have been the more one that like ending that was like, come on!
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
There have been several now, but this was one. So we know Luke Cage is not going to die.
We know he's not gonna die, but fuck, give me
some,
what I want.
But there's some drama brewing here about this whole shit. So let's start from the end. Then he's getting dipped in acid.
He's dipped in fucking acid.
We went to the cottage of the Mengele scientist man who was at the prison and all that shit. So we found out it was a little bit of a juke and jive where we weren't sure, but there was a program that was trying to give people like super skin or something like that.
We're trying to heal burn victims and make a more resilient army epidermis.
Right, like there was some stuff.
So they were trying to do the thing they did.
Right, because it wasn't clear if like Luke Cage was the result of a like healing machine that broke and healed him so much that he was permanently unwoundable, or if this was like so they were abalone shell stuff, like molecular seashell fucking shit that structures is elastic and just
cool
sticky
stuff.
All this shit. Enough pseudoscience where I'm like, yes, and all stuff. So they're trying to basically turn his powers off temporarily.
Yes, so they can get these bullet fragments out of his body.
Operate on him, yeah.
But which I said this while we were doing it. I'm like, that's only a Band-Aid solution. Even if you 100% cure him, he's still susceptible to these horrible bullets that they have in mass supply.
I know.
So it doesn't really it doesn't solve anything for me. You're like just prolonging something.
No, it's kind of a little weird because we're attaching a lot of drama about the resolution of these two gunshot wounds. Like, had he been shot in the head, he'd just be dead.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like it's not like a Wolverine situation where like the skull is the most protected because of all the bone or whatever, all the like metal. Like it's the outside, so it should all just be even. There's less skin on your face. So they should just be able to shoot him. Also, well, he has like a face guard on now, but like the whole acid thing and different parts of him that are not covered or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
So they have to dip his whole body because it's more dramatic, but they really just need to turn off the stuff in the two areas where he's hurt or whatever. So,
I feel like you could have put a cup over his shoulder and like the hole on his stomach and just like, been like, all right, well, just stay there until it starts eating it through. You're fine.
Yeah, and there's
but they dipped his whole body. He's in excruciating pain and dying, actually, from this.
Okay, right. So,
cardiac arrest from the pain, it seems.
It ends with a flat line and him just making the fist, which was the signal of like, okay, if it gets too real, we'll pull you out. Just hold up a fist. So we got that thing going on. And
so
then
he dies and then holds the fist. That's how boss he is.
That's how badass he is. Well, the machine thinks he died. He still has just heart left.
Nah, he's dead.
Fighting in him or whatever the fuck.
No, it's pretty cool. So our detective friend gets her badge back after a tedious talk and convincing them that she's the only one.
I loved that whole talk. I loved that weird piece of shit guy.
You love that dude, like the gossip lover. Oh yeah, and then what happened?
Well, okay, so I commented out loud because he's like, did you ever like fuck anybody or whatever? And she goes, one time, and she's telling her story, and she paused, and he goes, yeah, like go on.
His neck was so big, he was like part frog. It was like he would be like, and then what happened?
No, he looked like something out of the Star Wars cantina scene or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's great. They got this big flop sweat piece of shit like
flop sweat.
This like
he's a viewer. Comment below.
Not anymore. No, but so he's like a character actor who probably plays roles like this. I said right when they introduced him, this guy gives me hope that I could be an actor because he doesn't have like a good look. He has a very specific look.
You just called him a flop sweat piece of shit.
He was playing a flop sweat piece of shit. I'm sure in his normal
life.
You
just then commented about his natural look, how he was perfect for the role of flop sweat.
He might in fact be perfect to play those roles. He was like the guy from Thinner, but in the beginning before he gets thinner. He was like that or whatever. But I identify with this character very strong. No, it was cool because he was like I love interrogation scenes, like interview things and bullshit like that, and how he's like.
But he said over and over again, "This is not an interrogation."
Well, yeah, that was a bunch of. I mean, this is not by any stretch of the imagination the best scene like this, or even like a good one or whatever. But I liked that because it was like a way of framing up this whole episode. You kept cutting back and forth between her and this journey and stuff, and then Cage and them doing their thing, and then the crime folk doing their thing. We have something to say?
I just can't get over it. I just want hashtag flop sweat piece of shit.
Just me going like this and like flop sweat piece of shit.
Yeah. Let's just break that down. Flop sweat piece of shit. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, flop sweat was what they called the guy from Scrubs, which refers to, I think, when you're I forget where on your body this that means you're sweaty or whatever the fuck. It's a thing.
Oh,
Pop Sweat's a thing. Okay, sorry,
okay,
shit.
okay.
I thought you were a fan of Scrubs.
I've watched it.
I watched it. I refuse to
I didn't
remember
study
any of
the
it.
flop sweats.
I just know Doctor. No, it's that guy who's like, why should they be happy? Who's like the that guy.
Actually, yeah.
So I think.
All right, well, anyway, we're way off.
No,
tangent.
now we have to talk about Scrubs for an hour.
So the viral video, or the video goes viral of Luke fighting those two cops. So the world knows there's bulletproof people out there now. There's like all this
bulletproof / throw a dude fucking
Yes.
whatever feet. Yeah.
This is also leads into our mayor wannabe or whatever the fuck she is,
Yeah.
or presidential hopeful, whatever the fuck she is.
She's running for
Congressman, I don't know what she is.
I did until
Senator?
you just said all that
Senator
shit.
elect?
No,
I don't know. Bitch who's running for something, councilwoman.
I don't know if that's all she ever wants to be, but yes.
So she's gonna run on a platform now of this, like there are people like this, we need to get rid of them. There's a mob head meeting where fucking Diamondback kills everybody except for Domingo, because he's like the only one that has had screen time. And
he's the only
he has to
actual
live.
actor.
Yeah.
Yes. No, look, like fucking that was a great scene, and like you mentioned earlier, and I thought we were even gonna segue too early or whatever, but you said like these bullets that are in like mass supply or something like that, and it's like yes, because at that awesome meeting at the end, so they had fucking all right. So Shades is like, you gotta go and set up a thing, and she goes to Domingo and says, get all the bosses together, and the minute they cut to Diamondback, I'm like, oh god, was this just a fucking like, well not the minute they cut to him, but like when he kills the first guy, I'm like, oh, this was just a setup to kill all these people, fuck. And then the shockers that they didn't kill Domingo, he was almost gonna kill her, and then said like, why, give me one reason why, and she's like, oh, you gotta think about it differently. You should be selling these Superman killer bullets to the police and like the military and all that shit. He was like, ooh, like that's a good idea, because and that syncs up perfectly with her thing of like, oh, we can use the fact that my cousin was murdered by a metahuman to that can be, and I made some snide remark about the X-Men cartoon and that dude who's like, he was like running on like an anti-mutant platform, and that's like this here now where she's gonna have this
could be
anti-meta
the Defenders
platform.
like they
I
set up
know
for that. Like,
exactly. They could do a better Civil War in the Defenders
universe
or whatever the fuck. So I was like, oh shit, this is all coming together well. And so it ends with like Domingo now is like the goonish guy, Shades, Diamondback, and her as now. And she's like, yeah, but I'm out though. I just gave her this awesome idea. You run with it. He's
no, you're not out.
You're
in like Flynn.
I don't know why she wanted to or thought she'd be out, because she seems to have it. She seems to want it or whatever the fuck. I don't know how she's gonna go run for office now with all this shit. So like,
probably very successfully.
Well, no, now it makes because she's in it makes sense. But if she was just gonna be like, oh no, I'm just gonna whatever get some money from these people. But so they now control like the whole thing, whatever the fuck.
Or they've just set up a horrible war to happen.
Well, yeah, he says you just started a war or whatever the fuck. But I feel
he
like
just killed the Koreans, the Haitians,
Cubans, and there were. He said 4, but I like forgot who all the people were.
Regardless, he's starting lots of territorial wars here, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, okay, so obviously Luke Cage doesn't die. We're gonna see if so they have to get these bullets out of him. But like you said, straight away, like that only solves the immediate problem of the bullets. And if it takes 8 episodes to solve these bullet problems, I feel like he can just get shot again, and this is bad.
It's also weird. The guy, the scientist, is like, I stole these when they were something, blah blah blah. But like stole them and set them up in his secret thing, and like has them ready to go.
And he says he's like even experimenting on animals or something. No, and like he said, like I stole as much as I could when they like shut down the lab and covered it up or whatever. And you're like, you stole machinery that's too big to move without like equipment that
from
moves
an island.
Yeah, like how did you do that? What the fuck's going on? And then set them all up in your crazy barn where the light comes through the slats all the time, and you're like operating on things.
This is not a sterile room in any stretch. You could probably feel wind constantly from these walls. And like rain and shit. This is like expensive ass equipment.
And it is a barn. It is literally a barn behind some cottage, and he's just like blowing the dust off and like, all right, let's start dipping your friend. But it might
be the biggest about the show so far. But if that's my biggest problem.
No. The show's still great. I still want to know what the fuck happens, but we have these unanswered questions we have to fucking dive into. Obviously, they're going to get the shrapnel out, but I don't know how they resolve. Does Luke Cage just punch everyone to death? That seems kind of boring. We have 3 episodes left to figure it out.
Maybe he has some way of, like, now we're going to amp it up even more.
Oh, shit.
We're going to turn it up to 11.
I've analyzed the shrapnel, and I've juiced you up with some fucking shit. Oh!
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see on the next episode.